Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Steelers Sanctuary podcast. I'm your host, David Barrow from SteelersSanctuary.com, and this is my co-host, David Korup. Dave, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Another week, more Steelers off the field, players chiming in on the team. This is getting to be an every week thing. Before I get to that, though, I meant to get this to the last podcast. Did you see Antonio Brown all of a sudden has had a come to Jesus moment, and now he wants to retire a Steeler, and he's giving George Pickens advice and all this stuff?
Yeah, I did see it, and it was actually sound advice he actually gave him too.
Yeah, he did. It was crazy.
I was kind of like, whoa, what's going on, my man? You taking medication there or something now, or good to see. He actually seemed kind of human, not so crazy.
It's
Uh,
strange.
I
It's strange
very
that it's not strange, right? With Antonio
yeah.
Brown.
I mean, the
Um,
only thing I can think of, dude, is he wants to retire Stiller, but he knows he's got to
got
tone it
some
down. He's got to tone it down. Like
fences to
if he,
mend, and yeah,
yeah, because I mean the way he's acted, the way he went out, I mean it was really bad.
yeah, yeah,
He was more disrespectful than anyone I'd ever seen
yeah.
to the
He
Steelers.
was he was actually worse with the Raiders, if you can believe that. The
Well,
stuff he
I
pulled with
just
the
meant
Raiders was,
as far as a Steeler leaving, I'd
yeah.
never seen
No,
somebody
you're right.
talk and say the things that he did on the way out, even before they actually traded him. The things he
Yeah,
was saying, like I'd never seen a Stiller, ex Stiller, whatever you want to call him, be as disrespectful as he was on his way out. Um,
so
Proving
strange.
how crazy he got.
Yeah, he got.
He got crazy way out there, but and he just doubled down and got even crazier as time went
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. As time
So,
went on,
but yeah, I think this is him trying to atone for what happened
I hope it
to
is.
get in their good graces, and he gets to retire Stiller, and maybe one day be put in their hall, the what is it, the hall of
The
honor or
Ring of
whatever,
Honor, yeah,
ring of honor,
a
yeah.
Steelers Hall of Fame.
um so I don't
I'm all for it.
I don't know.
How do you feel about it? I'm all for it. If he can prove that he's like, I know you made a great point about the actual Hall of Fame. You can't put a microphone in front of this guy right now and have a ceremony with him because you just don't know what you're going to get. But a couple years down the line, if he's proved that he's straightened himself out, this guy, when he was right, he left it all on the field. He's not a guy that dogged it ever, or one of the greatest wide receivers of all time.
He that and he was such a hard worker. I
Yep,
mean, that guy busted his ass. He was the
absolutely.
epitome of hard work.
Yep,
I mean, they would show him after practice, and they had that video of him on the jugs machine catching from that thing for like an hour after practice. I mean, just the hard work that he put into it to be a sixth round pick and turn into what he turned into. Yeah, I just the things he said, the comments he made, the things he's
that's
done
pretty bad.
after, like
That was pretty bad.
it's bad. So I mean, like you got to do a lot to get past that, and I think that's what he's trying to do. Honestly,
Yeah, maybe this is the start of it, and hopefully he can stay on it. And I'd love to see him be retired as a Steeler and all that stuff. When he, like I said, when he was right, he was the most exciting player that they've had, and depending on how you feel about it, the best or one of the top two wide receivers in franchise history. So you'd like to
well,
see him
there's
come back.
at his height. I
I'm
mean,
telling you, best
yeah,
receiver in the league by
he's
far.
yeah, and he's up there amongst
Yeah.
the greats. He really
Yes.
is. Not counting Super Bowls, strictly going off stats
Yeah. Yeah.
for those that just want to talk. If those just put Super Bowls aside, stat wise, he's up there.
100%. Merrill Hodge, who I have a lot of respect for. I think he's a really knowledgeable football guy. Um, he had some things to say this week, and they weren't good. Off the bat, he went in on Pat Fryermuth and his blocking and quitting on routes and stuff like that. He actually said it was like watching him block was like watching turtles hump, whatever that means. But it's not a pretty
That's
description.
wow. That's a hell of a okay.
He's had it with Pat Fryermuth apparently, and he singled out all the wide receivers for quitting on routes. Um, he was pretty adamant that this is a thing that Steelers, and it goes back to the culture and the Steelers not doing Steeler things anymore. And this is all part of it. And these ex players are seeing it now, and they're speaking out, which they never did before.
Well, it's gotten to a boiling point. It
Yeah.
really has. You know, coming out with this all 22 now, where all of us can watch all the different
Yeah.
angles and everything. It's really changed some things to where now it can't hide people as much.
Yep.
When you just got that one angle, you don't really see the wide receivers running the routes,
No, you can't. Right.
the
Exactly.
TV angle. So you don't, unless they zoom out, you know. So it definitely hides some things, but the all 22 has changed things. Now you can see you can see it all, man.
And
So
people put it on Twitter all the time.
yep. I mean, hey, this
I do it too.
welcome to
Too.
social media at the end
Yep.
of 2023, man. I mean,
Yeah.
this is now you're going to be exposed for every little thing you do that you don't do right. So what essentially this boils down to, Dave, is that these wide receivers, these not all tight ends, because I don't think that Connor Hayward's taking a play off. I don't think he's being lazy. I mean, I
Yeah.
see him leaping over people and going all
Yeah.
out, you know. But maybe Pat Frymuth is. Maybe he is taking plays off, which isn't good. But I think what this is a case of the players are disinterested because of the play, their routes. Like they're sitting there and they're going, this is poorly
Yep.
called.
The
This
offense
is
in general.
poor,
You're right.
and they're just disinterested. Now, mind you, I go back to the whole, this is your fucking job, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care if it's a 3-yard curl. You know, do it. You know, do what your job. Do what you're supposed to do. Quit being lazy or quit being disinterested. Quit pouting. Like, go out there and at least run the route. I get it. It sucks. But guess what? That's what you're getting paid to do. You think we love everything about our jobs? No, it sucks. So, but guess what? We got to do it. We're getting paid to do it, right?
Yep.
It's the same thing with them. You got to do what play call is and run your route to the best of your ability. And if Freiermuth is doing this, shame on him. Like, this is not cool. I don't give a shit whether you like your route or not. Run your damn route. That's why all these ex-players are speaking out. Yeah. They're tired of basically this new generation of players that is pouty and doesn't run their routes right and is constantly complaining and running their mouth, and they're all about themselves. It's the me generation. And these old players are sick of it. They just are.
Yeah. He singled out the interception in particular as a play that Freiermuth quit on the ball. And he said that's what caused the interception that Trubisky threw. And he pointed out another one thing that I actually saw when I watched some of the tape. Pat Freiermuth does this weird backpedal thing in his routes where he'll run his route and then stop backpedaling for some unknown reason. And they showed that particular play on the interception. And if you go back and watch it, he's doing some weird backpedaling thing. It's bizarre.
Does he backpedal down the field or back towards the line of scrimmage?
No, back away from the line of scrimmage. Like he's backpedaling away from I don't know. I think this whole offense has just gotten a bunch of bad habits because they've been so bad and so poorly coached that it's just a disaster on every phase. And Hodge is a guy that knows football, man. I remember him distinctly just killing Johnny Football, who got drafted by the Browns there. What was his last name? Manziel. Everyone thought Manziel was a second coming. And he's like, I remember that like it was yesterday. He's like, I don't see it. I don't think this kid's going to be good. I think he's going to be terrible. He doesn't do well in structure. But he called out everything that Manziel didn't do well. And sure enough, and I remember the cast around him looking at him like he was crazy. Like, this guy's going to be the number one pick. Are you out of your mind? He's like, I just don't see it. And he was right. So I think Merrill Hodge has got a good eye for talent and good eye for football. And when he says stuff, I listen because I think he's got a pretty good knowledge of the game. And he's been rough on the Steelers all season because there's been a couple times this year where he's come out and call them out. So,
well,
nothing to be nervous about.
This wasn't during his time frame as a player, but all of the ex-players like Ryan Clark, all from that group, the 2000s, the Super Bowl teams in 2000s, basically, Roethlisberger, all those guys, all the way into the 2000 teens, really. So if you think about those great teams, Roethlisberger would get out of the pocket and essentially would play backyard football, if you remember.
Yep.
And what made the team great, or the offense great, is that Hines Ward, Randall L., Santonio Holmes, and eventually Antonio Brown and Emmanuel Sanders and Mike Wallace. These guys didn't stop after their route to pout, Dave.
Yeah.
They ran their route. And if Ben was still back there running around, guess what they did? They kept running. They kept trying to get open, because essentially that's what it turns into once you run your route and the quarterback is still somehow alive, but out of the pocket. You keep trying to find a way to get open. How many plays did we see? Do you remember how many of the plays Santonio Holmes that Super Bowl year made?
Yeah, of course.
Running after he ran his route, he kept trying to find a way to get open. Hines Ward did it his whole career. It was what we loved about Hines Ward. Just different guy. Antonio Brown, too. I mean, he would find a way as well. But these guys don't do that anymore, Dave. The All-22 has exposed them for being pouty little bitches, if you will, that they don't like what they're doing, so they run the route, and that's it. They don't go, oh, Trubisky or Pickett, whoever's back there still looking for someone. They don't care. They quit. Well, and that's what's driving old school guys like Merrill Hodge crazy.
And I don't want to stick up for these guys, but this offense is so bad. You said it yourself. It's a new generation. You got to keep these guys engaged. And they're not engaged. They're not asked to do something innovative or different or exciting. This is 1980s football on offense. And you're asking these kids that have, played pro style offenses they're in high school to, go backwards and play on the shitty offense with poor quarterback play and poor offensive line play. Half of my mind says, you know what? I can see the frustration. This is because it's so bad, Dave. I can't emphasize enough how badly coached this team is on offense. They have no plan. They have no structure. There's nothing. They don't scheme guys open. They don't have concepts to get guys open. It's so bad. And these players are probably just, after 3 years of this, just a bit like, I mean, we were just going over George Pickens' comments before we got on, and he's complaining about running 3 and 5 yard curls. This is George Pickens, probably the most explosive downfield receiver the Steelers have, and they're running 3 yard outs with him and 5 yard. It's broken. That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Like I get their frustration. I just
they've tuned out. They've tuned out.
Right.
It's too bad. You've lost them. And how do you get them back when you get the same play callers? It's a different play caller, but it's the same group of guys. It's not Matt Canada anymore. Great. It's Pat Sullivan. He's still calling the same plays. We still saw, stupid screens on 3rd and long, and we still see the same mistakes, if not worse.
Yeah, I saw Faulkner's now saying we got to get the ball to George Pickens. It's like, yeah, but you know what? We've been saying this for I don't know.
Oh my God, Eddie Faulkner does not impress me at all, dude. Some of the things that come out of that man's mouth, I'm like, hello, you got to get the ball to George Pickens. No shit, do it for once. Instead of talking about it for, what are we on, 10, 11 weeks of the season?
Yeah.
Stop talking about it and stop doing it. I don't know. I'm quick to kill players, and we've killed Pickens earlier this season, but I'm starting to see that from their side, and I'm as fed up as they are, and I can almost sympathize with them at this point. I mean, you're running these plays knowing they're not going to work. So after you do that for 10 weeks in a row, you're just going through the motions because it's not going to work. I don't know. Keeping in a theme of ex-players, this one, I don't know. Chris Hoke, of all the players he decides to come out against, he takes on Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
And says he's not good enough. I'm like, I don't know what you're smoking, Chris. I don't know what you're drinking before these things, but cut it out. Just cut it out. Just the one Steeler who actually gives a shit and lays it all on the line, and you pick him out because he doesn't have any interceptions this season. Get all the way out of here, Chris Hoke. I'm not from Pittsburgh. I don't hear his radio show that often, but that's all I need to hear.
My thing is that the guy was injured. He was out for 4 games.
You're making him play linebacker because they don't have any linebackers, dude.
He's playing. He's got a broken hand right now.
It's mind-boggling.
What? Really? That's the guy you're going to talk. Why don't you go kiss Mason Rudolph's ass some more? Like, I no idea.
He led the team in tackles before he got hurt. He was essentially a linebacker.
like I said, go back to promoting
He's
Mason
not
Rudolph.
watching.
Like, good Lord.
You're not
I don't
watching
know.
games if you single out Minka Fitzpatrick. You're just not watching. I don't know what the hell he's watching, but come on. When we used to have that Yinzer of the week bit, he's got Yinzer of the month for coming up with that thing. It's just
Yeah. A very strange hill to die on after.
there's like literally 14, 15 players you can pick on, and everybody will jump on your side. You pick out the best player on the team. All right. Just
no idea. I
Keep
don't.
your opinions to yourself, bro.
Yep.
All right, let's get into this game. Let's do the injury report. Some great news for the Steelers. Both TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith are out of concussion protocol. They will play. That's fantastic news.
Oh man, that's
they
great.
Dodged a bullet, Dave. They dodged a bullet big time.
Yeah.
The only one on the injury report this week is Sam Alu. He hasn't practiced all week. They still have him down as questionable, but
I guess all week. As Tomlin likes to say, they'll leave the light on for him.
Yeah, let practice participation, blah blah blah.
Be our guide.
Yeah, exactly. We've all heard it 1,000 times. The Colts side, they've got a couple guys out. Jonathan Taylor's not going to play. That's huge for them. And offensive tackle Braden Smith is out too, so they're going to get a backup offensive tackle against Alex Highsmith, it looks like. So that ought to be fun for Alex Highsmith. Getting into the game itself, my overall looking at the Colts, my overall arching thoughts about this game is the Colts don't impress me anywhere, dude. There's not one part of this. How are they 7-6?
Well, I mean, Minshew's actually not been that bad for them, dude. That offense, he's been okay. Zach Moss, the backup running back, has not been that bad for them either. I mean, when Jonathan Taylor first came back, Zach Moss was doing so good, they were splitting carries.
Yeah.
And then but now they're paying Jonathan Taylor $40 million. So conveniently, he's back to being, was back to being the main, the workhorse, if you will, until he got that thumb surgery. So, and they got lucky that they decided not to bring him back for a third game. He's not going to play. Yep. But they do. I mean, they do have Zach Moss. They got Pittman, and Minshew's not. He's not as bad as. He's actually one of the better backups in the league, in my opinion.
He is, but you look at his stats. He's got 11 TDs, 13 interceptions. No, 8 interceptions in 13 games. He's been sacked 23 times. He's.
I'll put it this way: he's better than Zappe. He's better than Zappe.
Yeah, he's better than Zappe, and he's probably better than Trubisky too.
Yep, better than both for sure.
Yep,
and
you can make a case he's better than Pickett as well. So,
well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, as far as if we're looking at the offense here, you'll be surprised by some of these. So, when I was looking at the offensive rankings, the Colts are ranked 14th in total offense, 337 yards a game. They've scored 35 TDs. If you want a comparison, the Steelers are ranked, 27th, dude. Yeah, 27th.
Don't do it.
So 292 yards a game, 20 TDs. So, yeah, the Colts have scored 15 more touchdowns than the Steelers.
The one thing I will bring up is their coach, Shane Steichen, is a really good offensive coach. I mean, he's been making chicken salad out of chicken shit all year with that team.
Right.
They don't have a lot of playmakers. They don't have, Jonathan Taylor's been out most of the season, and they still have a good offense.
Yeah,
and respectable offense.
And if you think it's not Minshew, I mean, the Colts are ranked 17th in passing offense, 226 yards a game passing offense, 14 touchdowns. Do you want to know what the Steelers is?
Well, there's average and there's well below average, Dave.
Well, the Steelers are 28th, and this is with 100. This is how pathetic. 179.8 yards a game they average passing. Only nine passing touchdowns
in 2023. It's and you know what's even more miraculous to me when I look at those stats is there are teams that are worse somehow. I couldn't watch it.
They find a way
until they play the Steelers anyway.
Now, rushing, the Steelers are one ahead of the Colts. The Colts are 16th, averaging 110.5 yards, 16 rushing TDs, and the Steelers are ranked 15th with 112.8 yards a game, but only 9 rushing TDs.
So touchdowns.
You can talk shit on the Colts offense all you want. They're better than the Steelers.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
It's particularly not even scoring offense. Let's see if they're at least close in that. Colts 8th.
Yeah, they're not
8th.
Close. They're not close.
In scoring offense, Dave. That's why the Colts 30th? Are 7-6. The Steelers are 27th.
27th.
Okay, so I mean, so if you're wondering
There's
how the
five
Colts are
teams
seven and
worse than the
six,
Steelers.
well, I'm just saying, like, if you're wondering why how the Colts are 7 and 6, it's because they score points.
Yeah,
I
Shane
mean,
Steichen and that
eighth
offense scores points. You're right.
eighth in the league. I mean,
Yeah,
that's really good.
yeah,
Ahead of them, the Lions, Eagles, Bills, Ravens, 49ers, Dolphins, Cowboys.
yeah.
That
The
makes
elite offensive
sense.
teams in the league. Yeah, yeah,
So that's really good.
yep. I mean, individually though, it's Pittman who's good, but he's not really. He's got 95 catches this year already for 90,
Well,
but it's only 10 yards a catch, so
it's
he's
just
not a
that
deep.
I understand what you're saying. It's just that we made Juju look like Randy
Yes, no doubt,
Moss
no doubt.
last week. So like I'm concerned.
If there's a worry,
So
yeah, Shane Steichen's was an offensive coordinator. He's a good guy, a good offensive coach. So he'll be looking. It'll take the Steelers a half to catch up to what he's doing again. They'll just have to limit the touchdowns, or else it'll be 21-0 at the half again, and they'll be lighting
we'll be ready to
torches to
we'll
come
be
go
ready to
get Talman
cry.
out.
And then that too.
What about on defense? Again, it's just meh. I mean, DeForest Buckner's a good player. He's got 5.5 sacks. Quiddy Pay has 7.5 sacks. He's a good player.
Yeah, Buckner's a good player.
They're okay.
Zaire Franklin, good
144 tackles.
linebacker. Ronnie Harrison Jr. I didn't realize he went to the Colts.
Yep.
Okay.
That guy Franklin has 144 tackles already, Dave. But only
Yeah,
three
no,
tackles for a loss.
he's legit, dude. He's a legit linebacker. Uh, is it Juju Brents is pretty good for them too?
Yeah, yeah. He was like a second round pick this
Okay.
past year, so he's pretty good.
I was gonna say I recognize the name, so I was like,
They got
Uh,
their wide receivers are good. Josh Downs and Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce is averaging 15 yards a catch, so he's dangerous. It's just it
so
doesn't it doesn't blow your socks off.
it looks to me it's their defense that's the weakness right now. They're 25th in the league in total defense. They're giving up 357.6 yards a game, and they've given up 35 TDs. I'm looking here just to compare. If they're 25th, the Steelers are 21st. Steelers are giving up 344.8 yards a game and have given up 25 TDs. So the Colts have given up 10 more touchdowns.
Do you have rush defense there? Because that's what concerns me.
Passing, I'm getting it here. I got to scroll down, and now it wants to act like there's something wrong.
I thought they were bottom half of the league.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. My thing is acting stupid. Yeah, I don't know what happened. My thing went haywire on me.
All right, I think they were like in the 20s for rushing defense. Their defense overall struggles, but again, they've got some pretty good players. DeForest Buckner, I really like a lot. So you got to watch out for him against like lining up against Mason Cole, for instance. Could be a bad.
Yeah, that could be rough, huh?
Rushing yards per game. Let me pull it up real quick. The Colts are near the bottom. They're 26th in the league. Yards per game given up on the run. So they're not a good rush defense. That's where the Steelers need to attack. They need to run the ball early and often.
Yeah, I got it back now. Yeah, they average 131.5 rushing yards a game. So
Against them, yeah,
and they've given up 19 rushing touchdowns. That's a lot.
That's where you got to. That's where you got to attack them.
So that looks like where the Steelers have definitely got the upper hand, and actually utilize the running backs and maybe play Jaylen Warren more. Just a thought. I don't know.
It's the little things, Dave. It's the little things.
I don't know.
Yeah. The Colts are going to target the Steelers linebackers in the passing game. So
I know.
Hopefully they come up with a plan to mitigate that a little bit. I doubt it because they don't usually do it until after they've been burned a couple times. But they're going to be looking at the tape of how bad the Steelers linebackers were covered against the Patriots with tight ends, and they're gonna attack that,
and they're gonna target it. They really are. And scoring defense. If you're curious here, they're 29th in the league. I mean, they're averaging 25.4 points a game, and they've, like I said, 35 TDs allowed. I mean, that's up there, man. You got the worst is the Commanders, 45 touchdowns, Panthers 42, Cardinals 39, Eagles 39 actually too. But they're up there in the they're in the top like 8 for most touchdowns given up. So, if you're looking for a game where in theory it better fits the Steelers to maybe win, it's this game.
Yeah, it's a better matchup for the Steelers
than
the Patriots.
It's not like last week where they were facing a Patriots defense that destroys the run, that just kills it. And it's a tough defense. This is a defense where you can get some yards on the ground here. You can make it work. So, and they're not a high-powered offense either. No. They're good. They score points, but we have a good enough defense you hope can offset it. But I don't know, man. I like you said, they're going to attack the middle of that field. And if the Steelers don't figure out some way, I don't know if you want to do the 3 safeties and have Minkah be that third linebacker kind of thing. But KZ back there scares the shit out of me.
You're right. Him playing that free safety roamer thing is not working out. He's late all the time.
He's always late. Doesn't know to look back when the wide receiver's eyes, get big as a pumpkin. Like, hey, maybe look back. The ball's probably coming. I don't know. Just basic shit, but whatever. I don't know.
It's the lesser of two evils because you got Blake Martinez and Michael Johnson trying to cover backs and tight ends, and that's a nightmare. So
is the other linebacker Miles Jack? Is he going to get a helmet? You think this week?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they seem to have settled on Blake Martinez. They want to see what he can do. I don't know. Let Landon Roberts cover. He's the best out of all of them.
I was going to say, I can tell you what Blake Martinez can't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not his strong point, but he's been the best linebacker by far. So just let him do it. I don't know if you're right. Maybe you put Minkah close to the box, go 3 safety look a little bit. Cross your fingers and toes that Casey doesn't get
3
burned.
Safety, get Trent Thompson back out there. Let Minkah be essentially the third linebacker, if you will, and pray for the best. But man, I don't know if KZ gets left back there on an island. Oh boy, I don't know.
Putting Pat Pete in center field. Hey, he's been playing better.
He has been playing better.
Then you got to play our boy Levi Wallace at corner. It's not such a good option either. Oh man,
definitely some holes there.
How do we get here?
Secondary.
Well, in fairness, the injuries to the linebackers really killed them. That's nothing you can control, really.
I mean, that's not their fault. I mean, I mean, that's the thing. Like when you're missing literally your 2 of your 3 starters at the linebacker core, inside linebacker. I mean, that's tough to overcome. It really is, especially facing today's offenses. You've got to have some good linebackers that can cover. And this has been one of the reasons why they've gotten stomped on the last 2 weeks is because of that reason.
And in the defense, they kind of cleaned it up in the second half against the Patriots.
They did.
Like we keep going back to, they weren't really prepared for it to start.
But they it wasn't kind of. They did. No points in the second half.
Yeah. So, I mean, this would be a Steeler, Mike Tomlin Steeler thing to come back and win this game after just absolutely stinking the joint out for 2 straight weeks.
Yeah.
If the schizophrenic Steelers under Mike Tomlin, they'll come out and play this one. The only thing that and we'll do our predictions in a little while, but Trubisky scares me.
You read my mind. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
he scares me.
On the road now, he easily had 3 or 4 interceptions at last game.
And Merrill Hodge, stuck up for him and said he didn't play half as bad. It was the receivers and this and that. But okay, but Kenny Pickett didn't throw those picks, and it's the same receivers doing the same shit. So
yep. I mean, when he's getting ranked 34 out of 34 quarterbacks
by PFF, yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, PFF's PFF, but still, good Lord.
It's the outliers, right? If you don't want to be in the bottom 4 or 5, no matter what.
Yeah, even being ranked 22nd isn't great. Let alone 34th. Whew, that's bad. But it was I've been hearing it was a short week. Okay, maybe that is it. Maybe it was a short week. Maybe now he's got his now he's in there a little bit longer now. Maybe he'll settle. But I don't know, man.
It's a short
Uh,
week going up against Bill Belichick's defense. That's tough.
it is. So I don't know. It just seems like every time he goes out there, it's just not good.
Yeah,
It's not good.
I've lost faith in him. Not that I ever had a lot of faith, but his last it's not just the last game too. It's the last couple times he's been out there. It's the
That's what
same
I'm
old stuff.
saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the
Interceptions.
same old
It's
thing. He
you know
he just constantly is giving the ball to the other team. You can't do that. You've got
that's
to
we
win
talk.
the turnover battle
Yeah,
if you have any chance of
Tomlin
winning these
preaches that every
games.
week. That's why I'm
Yep.
so surprised he's so adamant to stick with Mason. I would not go to Mason. I mean, he knows Mitch is going to turn the ball over. It's just a fact.
I think they're that down on Mason. They just
Maybe
they
Mason's
just
been bad in practice and they just know it. I don't
I think
know.
he
We don't
has.
see obviously we don't get to see that. So
Yeah.
it's the only logical
Yeah, it's the only thing
explanation
that
for
makes
why.
sense out of all of it. But I don't know. A
I'm
shit sandwich
fascinated
is
to
a
see what you
shit
pick.
sandwich. Well, a shit sandwich is a shit sandwich, Dave. And
Yeah, I know.
and either or with this offense, or with the you know the effort not being given either. The whole thing just as a whole, it just sucks. So I don't know. They got to put up points
Yeah.
if they're going to beat the Colts. But the setup, this is the team they want to face, since it's that we're supposed to be a run first team. This is the team you want to face.
And this is like a loser leaves town game. Whoever
It
loses
is.
this between the Colts and the Steelers is essentially out of the playoffs. I mean, not
Yeah.
technically, but they've dug themselves a
No.
hole they're probably not getting out of. So this is a playoff game. Make no mistake about it. If you have any
Well,
hopes for the postseason,
and I was glad to hear that that Joey Porter, when he said that they're treating this like a playoff game. I was just
they
like,
should
well,
be.
I'm glad that maybe now we're taking shit seriously. It's good to hear. It's good. It's great. Because look, it's the Steelers, Colts, Texans, Broncos, Bengals, Bills are all 7-6.
Yeah.
We thought the Bills were dead.
Yeah, they're
Remember,
not.
we
Yeah,
thought the
we did.
Bengals were dead. We thought the Browns were dead on
We thought
arrival.
The Broncos were dead for
The
sure.
Broncos, they
Yeah.
got 70 points hung on them earlier this year. We're like, yeah, you're done. No, they're. I mean, there are so many teams in this. We knew the AFC would be a bloodbath. Remember, we talked about
Yeah.
this,
Yep.
but we didn't think it'd be. We're talking about how many teams here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 teams are still battling to get.
7-6 or better, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
11 total, counting the teams that have winning records that don't really
Yep.
go.
Yep.
Yeah, like dude, that's crazy. So
It's going to be a wild finish to the season. It's going to be incredible.
It's going to be nuts. The ending is going to be incredible.
And Saturday, don't the Bengals play, right? The Bengals play the Vikings just before the Steelers play, so we'll have an idea how they're doing. So, yeah, it's going to be, man.
So the Steelers, I mean, I know it goes without saying, but they really needed to win these two games they just had, because the rest of the season, they got 4 games that all of a sudden are not easy.
Nope.
The Bengals are not easy now. Jake Browning actually looks legit.
Yep.
Seahawks game's not going to be easy. This game against the Colts isn't going to be easy. And then to finish off against the Ravens, whew, man. So
and the Ravens are probably going to be shooting for number 1 seed. They're going to be fighting against the Chiefs, because the Chiefs have 4 cupcakes. I looked at their schedule, so they're probably going to run the table after this now. So that Ravens game is going to mean something to them. They're not going to be resting their starters.
The Steelers have to hope to go at least 2-2 to go 9-8 and have a shot.
Yeah, I don't think 9 wins does it. I think you need 10.
Probably not. I'm saying to have a shot.
Yeah, to have a shot. Yeah,
they probably have to go 3-1 to get in. 2-2 to have a shot to get help, like they did last year, and they didn't get the help they needed.
If they go 2-2, one of the losses has to be against Seattle, so it's not all AFC losses. You see what I'm saying?
True.
To keep their AFC thing going, because actually the reason they're still in the playoffs is they still have a pretty decent conference record, so it's keeping them afloat. Yeah, I don't know. A loss here, and we could start thinking about the draft and next season, because it's over. Because I'm marking the Baltimore game as a loss. So now you got to find at least 2 more wins.
The only way I wouldn't say the Ravens game is a loss is if the Ravens have, we'll say, the number 1 seed locked up.
Like I said, Dave, they won't, because Kansas City is going to run the table. Their schedule's cupcake city. I can't remember the teams, but
What if they have okay? Then say, what if they already have their seed locked up in general? What if they have
that's a
the 2 seed?
possibility. They could be locked in the two.
So
You're right.
if they lock the 2 seed up, they could bench their players
Yeah,
unless it's
yeah.
worth it to them to eliminate the Steelers.
Um, yeah, I think as much as they like that, they probably want to protect their players more.
So,
But yeah, it's all in the line here.
but
Put
it's
up or shut up
all
time.
it starts here. You can't lose this game. It's an AFC loss on top of going 7-7 with the 4 games you got coming up. You win this game, you get 8-6. You're still back in the thick of it. It gives you a little more breather. Yeah, no, this is a big game.
I saw the percentages. They go from like if they win this game, they're like 75% to make the playoffs. If they lose the game, they go down to like 31% to make the playoffs. So it's that crucial. So we'll see. We'll see if they are prepared, which they haven't seemed to be in any game this season, and we'll see how the game plan is. We'll see how they execute. I mean, I'm feeling like this could be a game where they could get a good pass rush. Minshew's kind of got happy feet. He's a little Kenny Pickett. He kind of rolls out when he doesn't have to. So he might roll into some sacks in this game. We'll see.
I just don't want to hear no excuses. It's our backup versus our backup.
Yeah, there's no excuses.
They have their backup running back in. They've dealt with their injuries too. We've got both our edge rushers that are amazing, plus Minkah, plus Cam.
Yep.
I don't want to hear the excuses.
There'll be if they lose, it's the other thing that makes me nervous is a road game. So that puts more pressure on the offense, which is already not very good. So the communication and the penalties, on the road it gets worse. So, we'll see.
Didn't the Colts just lose to the Bengals?
Yeah, they got waxed, I think.
Okay. So I don't want to. I got no time for this excuse shit. Like, put up or shut up, and that's it.
It's time. All right, you ready to get to our legendary NFL picks and wrap this?
Yeah, let's
up?
do it. Yeah,
all right, man. There's a lot of games this week with playoff implications. We are taping this. I don't think the game has started yet, but we'll do the Raiders Chargers game. The Las Vegas Raiders are at home, -3 to the Chargers. Herbert's out, so it's Easton Stick starting for the.
Yeah, I'm taking the Raiders, dude.
The Raiders did not score a point last week.
I know, but I mean, the Chargers are out without Keenan Allen and Herbert. I mean, that's
talk
tough.
About a shit sandwich. This is between these two teams.
Yeah, it's tough. I think they had maybe out of all their starting wide receivers, I think Palmer maybe was going to play for them. Like, dude, they're down to like their 4th string wide receiver and worse. Like, it's bad. I think they have Eckler. They're going to lean heavy on him, I'm guessing. So, but I don't know. The Raiders, I would think they go all out, stop the run, and force that QB. I just don't see it working out for them. I think it's going to be one of those ugly games. But how much was it? -3? Raiders favored? Yeah. I would take the Raiders. I mean, it's kind of too late, but the game starts in like 2 minutes. But yeah.
I'm going to take the Raiders too. All the things you said, the receiver's out, the quarterback's out. They're on the road. The Raiders should win this game.
Should.
Oh, they'll be firing their interim coach too.
Yeah.
All right, Saturday games. Cincinnati Bengals take on the Minnesota Vikings at home. They're giving the Vikings 3 points as well. Our boy Josh Dobbs has fallen off the mountain, bro. Now he's a 3rd string quarterback for the Vikings. All that shit we talked about, how he's the best, he'd be the best quarterback for the Steelers. He struggled.
Yeah. So I'm taking the Bengals. I call him Jake the Snake. He's my fantasy quarterback. He saved my ass.
He's doing it for you, huh? For sure.
Yeah, Jake Browning's been doing really well for the Bengals. I mean, really well.
It's drives Steelers fans crazy when backup quarterbacks come inside for 300. We haven't seen a 300 passer and 300 passer.
So I look, he's got all them weapons. He's doing really well. I got the Bengals because the Vikings are now becoming a mess because a quarterback they don't got a guy that can really. Dobbs did his thing for a little while, and now it's back to reality. And here we are. So
the Vikings out winning in Cincinnati. It's not happening. I'm taking the Bengals too. Wrapping up Saturday. This is a pretty good game. The Detroit Lions are giving 4.5 to the Denver Broncos. They're at home. The Lions are home,
and they're favored by 4.5.
4.5, which kind of surprised me. But
that's
it
tough.
Is a road game.
Yeah, it's a road game. But man, I'll tell you what, Sean Payton's got them Broncos playing good ball.
He does. Yeah, he does. I questioned him earlier in the season. I thought he didn't have it anymore. Clearly, he's got it back. He's got that
Uh,
team playing well.
God, you know what, man? I think it's going to be close now. I'm taking the points.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the Lions in this one. I think the Lions bounce back.
Okay, I'm going to take the points because I don't know. He's got them Broncos dialed in, man. I think this is going to be a close game, a good game.
Okay. Well, that juggernaut Patriots defense is at home, getting 7.5 points to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh man,
They ain't facing Mitch Trubisky in this one.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I just, man, that defense, man, and
they're impressive. They're
and
impressive
it
on
is,
defense, right?
and the Chiefs, I don't know, man. Like
Something wrong with them. There's something not right with
yeah,
them.
there's something definitely wrong. I 7 points, 7 or 7.5.
7.5.
All right, yeah, I still take the Chiefs to cover. I still think they find a way to cover.
Patrick Mahomes did not cover himself in glory this past week, but acting like a complete and total
Yeah,
baby.
that was
Even when he went to shake,
I know.
what's his name's hands, he's still
Like,
complaining.
come on, dude.
Stop being a
Don't.
bitch, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, like I can't
like
stand that.
The Chiefs have gotten calls over the years. So
Well,
don't give me this.
Well, especially Josh Allen. Like,
Yeah.
hello. Remember
poor bastards had the worst luck in the
overtime
world.
rule got changed or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was really unimpressed with Patrick Mahomes the way he acted after that game. Guy's clearly off sides too. It's not like it's even like a debatable call.
I know. It's just stupid.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chiefs too. After saying all that, I assumed the Patriots were tanking before they played the Steelers, and then I didn't know. But I don't know. I don't even want to think about that game anymore. I want to put it out of my head completely. Next game up. Miami Dolphins are given 9.5 to the Jets. The Dolphins are at home. This is kind of surprising because the Jets are coming off their best game of the season. Zach Wilson balled out, dude.
Didn't they just play like 3 weeks ago and the Jets made it close?
I don't remember. The Dolphins didn't play well either. They didn't play well against the Titans.
Yeah. So how much are they giving him again?
9.5. I know it's in Miami, but
I'm taking the point. I don't think they're going to do it. I think it's going to be closer than that.
I agree. I'm going to take the Jets too. Their defense is pretty decent. We'll see. Let's see. New Orleans Saints at home, giving 6 points to the New York Giants. This DeVito kid is another one that drives Steelers fans crazy.
I know.
Balling out.
Yep.
Putting up points while we're struggling.
Yeah, how much are they giving him again?
6 points.
Man, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to take the Giants.
I'm going to take the Saints at home. They have to win this game. I don't know. I can't figure out the Giants. I don't understand how they're winning. I don't get it. I don't get offense from a backup quarterback.
I'm digging the DeVito thing.
Yeah.
There's something there, man. I think they may have something there, or at least, for this year at least. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Giants in this one.
Okay. Cleveland Browns are at home, giving 3 points to the Chicago Bears. This is an interesting game, Dave. The Bears have been playing better.
They have. That defense, though, I think is going to bring them back down to earth.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Browns.
Yeah, you're right. On the road.
Joe Flacco, baby.
Another backup quarterback that's playing well. This is depression mode here. I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns, too, for the same reason. Their defense is going to probably shut the Bears completely down, unfortunately. Carolina Panthers are at home, getting 3 points from the Atlanta Falcons. Carolina's the worst team in football.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Falcons.
I'll take the Falcons too. But only 3 points, though. It's interesting.
Yeah, the Falcons aren't much better. They're a bad football team too. Green Bay Packers giving 3.5 points to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Packers are at home.
3 points.
3.5.
I'll take the Packers.
The Packers have been playing better.
They have. Yeah. They've been playing better. Jordan Love's been playing better.
Yep. I'm going to take the Packers too. Tennessee Titans are at home, giving 3 points to the Houston Texans. I don't think Stroud plays. He's got a concussion.
Yeah, if Stroud don't play, I'll take the Titans.
Levis looked good again. He's a gamer, man. That ball comes out of his hands so easy, and it comes out flying, man.
He's got a rocket arm.
Oh my god, it's
him and D-Hop got into it on the sidelines this last game.
Yeah,
I don't know what was over.
Right? They were arguing.
Yeah. So I don't know. If, I'm not sure what it was about. Maybe they hashed it out, whatever. But yeah, no, I take the
Titans.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm taking the Titans too. If Stroud doesn't
play,
no
Stroud, no chance. We'll just say that.
All right. The Los Angeles Rams are given 6.5 points to Mike Tomlin's future team, the Washington Commanders. It's in Los Angeles. I had to slip it in there.
You
I
couldn't
had
control yourself.
to.
I lost the whole train of thought. Who the hell are they facing?
The Rams are at home, given six and
Oh,
a half to
okay.
the Commanders.
Yeah, I'll take the Rams.
Hey, the Rams, that's what coaching's all about, man. They have
Yeah.
that team. There's nobody on that team. They got a pretty good running back, a couple good receivers. The defense is just
Yeah, I mean, I
put
wouldn't go
together
as
with
far as
duct
saying
tape.
they got nobody. I mean, they got
Eh,
Cooper Cup.
yeah, I
That
know, I know.
Puka
You get
Nakua is pretty legit too. He's
yep,
established himself. Kieran Williams.
yep.
Let's not hate on Matt Stafford. I mean, he's not a nobody.
Yeah, he's 40 years old and beat to shit. And that poor bastard is he's taking some beating over his career. But yeah, I mean, Sean McVay, coach of the year, getting
Oh
that
yeah,
Rams team.
dude. I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't expect them to be this. I didn't expect that. But here we are.
I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Arizona Cardinals are at home, getting 12 points from the San Francisco 49ers. I don't even think 12 is enough.
Yeah.
I think the 49ers
Yes.
will wax them.
Yeah. I'm taking the 49ers. There ain't no doubt in my mind.
Good game at the 4 o'clock window. Buffalo Bills are at home, giving 2 to the Dallas Cowboys.
That's a good game, man.
That's a real good game.
You said 2 points.
Yeah, it's in Buffalo. I don't know if the weather's going to be bad or not.
Ooh, yeah, that's tough.
The Cowboys are all of a sudden they're like a
Yeah,
wagon. They're
I
beating
know.
everybody.
Yeah,
The offense is loaded, dude.
they're working their way to being in that upper
Yeah.
echelon of offenses, man. They really are.
Dak's playing pretty well. They got weapons all over the
Yep.
place.
Yep.
And a pretty good defense too.
Man, 2 points though. Yeah,
This one's a tough one.
it is a tough one because I mean the way Dallas is playing, but it's in Buffalo.
Yeah,
So
if it was in Dallas, I'd go Cowboys in the second.
yeah, and I mean Buffalo's coming off that big win against Kansas City.
They're both coming off big wins, right? Who did the Cowboys just beat?
Eagles.
Eagles. Yeah, they're both coming off big wins.
Ah, man, dude, I'll tell you what, I'll take the Cowboys.
I'm going to take Buffalo. I think the Cowboys let down after that big win.
Think so?
Kind of drop on
See, and
on the road.
That's what makes me want to take Buffalo because Cowboys are known to do that letdown. Are they past that? That's the thing. Are they past the letdowns?
Yeah.
Because I
We'll
mean,
find out.
you
It's a
know,
good test
are they
for
going
them.
to are they going to be the team that beats Philly? Or are they going to be a team that loses to Arizona? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Good. Yeah. Yep.
So I'll take a chance on them. I'll go Cowboys.
All right. Sunday night football. The Jacksonville Jaguars are at home, getting 3.5 from the Baltimore Ravens. No way the Jags do us a favor and win this game, right?
No, it's Ravens. I'm going Ravens.
Yeah.
Lawrence apparently is feeling better, but like
Yeah.
I'm not sure how confident I am that. Kirk, I think he's out for. Is he out for on the IR? Did he get put on the IR?
Oh, I don't know that. Is he?
I think he did.
Wow.
Yeah. Zay Jones again is injured.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, dude. Like,
Ravens.
yeah. You're down to Ridley, and I got ATN of course, but
Yeah.
a banged up Lawrence too on top of it. Ravens are that defense is really good.
Yep.
So yeah, I Ravens 3 points. You said is the
3.5. Yeah.
3.5. Yeah, Ravens.
I'm going Ravens too. Monday night football. The Seattle Seahawks are at home, getting 3.5 from the Philadelphia Eagles. And Eagles defense has been exposed. They're not very good. They're not very good.
They are not. Do I think that Gino's gonna go in there and
play? Does he play?
I don't know.
I'm not even sure.
I don't know. Why is he? Oh, is he still hurt?
Yeah, he didn't play the last game.
Okay. Then that kind of changes things. Then what's the Eagles are favored by how much?
3.5.
Okay, I'll take the Eagles either way.
It's in Seattle.
I forgot that he was still injured. If that's the case, then I'm still going to take the Eagles either way. 3.5. Yeah.
Let's see real quick if he's going to play.
They're probably pretty pissed coming off that game, losing to Cowboys. They'll be pretty dialed in.
I can't find it. Why isn't it here? Oh, well. Anyway. Yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles too. The Eagles. It's a long flight cross country. I still think the Eagles win. All right, that brings us to the big game of the week. The Colts are at home, giving the Pittsburgh Steelers 1.5 points.
So the Steelers are favored. Oh no, they're not
No,
favored.
the
You said one and a
Steelers
half.
getting 1.5. Yeah,
Ooh, man.
road dogs.
Uh, you know what? It's probably stupid, but I think the Steelers win.
I
Yeah.
don't. This would be this would fit
This
in perfectly to what the Steelers do.
this is the Steelers. This is the
Yep.
game they go
Yep.
win somehow. Uh, yeah. I think the Steelers win. I think in some ugly way. I think they win like I'm gonna say it's hard for me to pick them to score over 15 points now. Like
It really is.
I just it's hard for me to do it. I think I picked them to win like 14.
Okay. I'm going to take
I feel like an idiot saying this.
No,
Like I
this
don't.
is the way. This is the way the Steelers operate.
It is.
This is the way that they're
So
gonna.
I'm not confident and I don't feel right, but I'm picking the Steelers to win 18-14.
I'm not far off. I'm picking the Steelers as well. I had 17-6 in my head. I don't
17-6.
Yeah, I don't
You
think.
thought only after they just let the Patriots score 21. You thought they were going to go in here and only let them give.
Yeah, I'm
Dave.
not. I told you I'm not impressed with the Colts. Well, I wasn't impressed with the Patriots offense either. And that
well, I wasn't impressed with them or the Cardinals either, but here we are. Man.
I think the Steelers defense has a big game. They got a couple turnovers. I think they shut the Colts down on offense pretty good, and maybe even give the Steelers a couple short fields. I wouldn't even be surprised to see like a fumble return for a touchdown at some point or something. God help us, Dave, if they don't. God help us if they don't. Well, it'll put us out of our misery and just start thinking about next season if they lose, because it's a playoff game. We just talked about it. They have to win,
and that's their mindset. So we'll see how it goes.
Usually when Tomlin's back up against the wall, he manages to get them to play well.
Yeah. So what's your final prediction score was?
17-6.
So you're sticking with that 17-6.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
We got YOLO Dave out here fucking making
pretty much
crazy predictions. 17-6. Woo.
Trubisky's channeling Trubisky right now. I'm throwing all the shit against the wall, see what sticks.
I hope you're right. I really do. I do hope you're right. But we'll see.
It's such a Steeler, just a Mike Tomlin thing to stink it up for 2 weeks and then come out on the road and win a game. It's just
I know. It is.
We're used to this merry-go-round, right? It's just
this
is what's going to happen. And everyone will get their hopes up. And we can argue whether this is good for the Steelers or not, making the playoffs. But if I'm picking now, I say they don't make it. They'll win this game and then they'll lose 3 in a row. That's the way I see it the rest of the way.
Yep.
But that's all I have, unless you got anything else.
Nope, that's it.
All right, you can follow me on X at SteelersSank16. Email the show at daver@SteelersSanctuary.com. Check out the blog at SteelersSanctuary.com. Subscribe to the podcast, guys. That helps us out. Rate and review. Give us a nice review. That would be great. Dave, give me your stuff and let's get out of here.
Yep, you can find me on X at DMC3SSP. You can find me on TikTok at Steelers Sanctuary Podcast or at SteelSancPod. Don't forget, guys, on my micro site, FanDuel is now on my site for Pennsylvania, and both them and DraftKings have the same deal on my site. For new players, bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets. I also have Underdog Fantasy. They have a deal, 100% deposit match up to $500 on my site as well. Go to signupexpert.com/nothingness.
All right. Until next time, thank you for listening to the Steelers Sanctuary Podcast.